there, and I always try to have enough space for him.
Oh, Lord.
When he's talking.
If everybody will have
I
a
was
seat,
doing
we'll
that
call
last
the
time he was
meeting
here.
to order.
It's quarantined now. Oh,
Kelly
I
is,
did.
Kelly's gonna be our primary person today, and she has spent much more time than I have on this. So after a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly, and she's going to show you how smart she is. Of course, most of us already know. Earlier this year, we had a mid-year, I guess evaluation is the word I'm looking for. At that time, we thought we were in pretty good shape as far as insurance goes. We were looking good at that time. And then all of a sudden, as we get past June, July, and August, it seems like things turn for the worst. And when Stevens notified us, it was going to be a big increase. And it is much larger than we had hoped and certainly anticipated. So there are two things that we're going to consider today. And the chairman of the finance committee is here, and a member of the insurance committee, Norvell, is here, Justice Norvell. So we've got who came in?
Peggy.
Okay. So, and we've got members of the court here, and we've got a third member of the committee. Come on up here if you want to, Molly. We got plenty of room.
Is she
So
gonna
having
talk?
said,
Yes.
what?
If she's gonna talk, I'll sit
Oh, I'm
over.
not worried about her.
You can sit here if you want to.
It'll be all right. I'll just sit right here in the
So,
front of her, I
having
guess.
said that, we're going to let Kelly tell us what she has gleaned from the information, and then we're going to try to make a decision and to present to the finance committee, or the finance committee, since the chairman's here, may want us to present it to the full court tonight. That's strictly his call. But maybe we can have some information today that we can give to him, and then he can decide when to present it to the full court, or he may just want to wait until we get our budget together. That's his call. So at this time, I'm going to let Kelly begin and tell us what she has come up with. What?
Well, I was just gonna say
You
that,
looked at me like you were in a,
like I have a mask on, and you can't see my facial expressions. Well, the last time that we met with Stevens, we met via Zoom, just like this, and they presented to us our renewal numbers on medical, dental, life, and vision. Life and vision have a rate hold, correct? With standard and superior vision. So we knew that. They came in with a small increase for dental, which is on one of these handouts that we'll give you in just a second. And then they also told us that the original renewal numbers for QualChoice came in at 17%, a 17% increase. They renegotiated on our behalf, and they came back with a plan change that would offer us a lower increase. So they provided to us a benefits comparison chart for the different, I guess, plan changes that QualChoice offers. Plus, they shopped around with United, Blue Cross Blue Health, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Cigna. So we've looked at all of these and discussed during our meeting with Stevens what may be the best for the county. And Stevens narrowed it down for us between two options. And the two options were one of the QualChoice plans and a plan with Cigna. So we do have all of these handouts that I want to give everyone, but I kind of thought that it would be easier if they go through this information, explain this information, because I think they would be better equipped with the correct terminology and stuff than I would, if that's okay with you.
If they'll do it quickly.
Okay. Today they provided us, since they narrowed it down to the 2 plans, they provided us with spreadsheets that just compare those 2 plans instead of having to look through all of them. They also provided a chart titled Differences Between QualChoice and Cigna, and some benefit information for Cigna, because I believe that they feel like the benefits through the Cigna plan are better. Is that kind of what I gathered from? Okay. So, Claire, I've got all these handouts in front of me, and I will pass them out. Justice Nelson wants to know if maybe you can quickly compare those 2, and if so, which handouts would you like them to be looking at?
Why don't, Tom, if you agree, why don't we start with the marketing comparison that shows all of the QualChoice options and the Cigna options, and then we can delve into that new Word document that we sent you today that's more detailed on the Cigna versus the QualChoice benefits.
Do you have 2 speakers on or something?
No.
It's bouncing.
No, am I echoing?
Not really.
You're not to me. I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And when you say the QualChoice options, are you talking about that ER comparison sheet that just shows QualChoice and Cigna and our current?
Do you want to just focus on the costs, or do you want to look at all of the QualChoice options to start with at the benefit level?
I don't think we need to look at all of them.
We can't do a 17% increase, that's just,
Yeah.
If we've narrowed it down to 2, let's just look at those 2.
I think so.
Just a quick one, Claire.
Okay.
Betty, can you handle this?
Is my sound bad? Should Joanne speak?
No, y'all sound fine.
Okay, great.
I got many glasses and left them in the truck.
You don't mind?
Okay, everyone has it.
Okay, so Tom, Joanne, please feel free, or anyone just interrupt me if you need to. So I'm looking at the sheet that has the employer costs reflected. So we have our current plan, which is the $1,000 deductible. I'm looking at the second column on this sheet that's titled Negotiated Renewal. So if we look at this column, it is a 15% increase to the county and a total monthly premium of $189,000 roughly. The employer contribution, if we remain steady at the current contribution level, would be $177,000, $177,650. That's toward the bottom of your page. You'll see the per employee difference per month on this exact plan, your plan, is $125.94. Then, if we look at the next column over, which is option 2, this is the option where we increase the deductible and the max out of pocket. So we have a $1,500 deductible and a $4,500 family deductible. This would work similarly to your current plan. So if there were only 2 members on the family plan, there would be a $3,000 deductible. We then have a $3,500 individual max out of pocket. So that's increasing the max out of pocket by $500. The family max out of pocket is increasing as well on this plan. It's a $10,500 limit for families. Remember, the max out of pockets include all copays, the deductible, and any co-insurance that the member pays. This got the increase down to roughly an 8% increase. And the employer cost, if we look at the bottom section of the page, decreases by about $11,000 a month off our renewal plan. So we have $166,717 for the monthly contribution to the county if all of that remains steady at the current contribution model. Are there any questions on the QualChoice options?
So you're saying that to keep our plan exactly the way it is, it would be a 15% increase? That's what that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Correct. So the 15% is no change to your current benefits.
Okay.
If we make some changes, we can get a QualChoice option at roughly 8% increase. So the final option on this sheet that you'll see to the far right is Cigna.
Are there any justifications?
Cigna came in very competitive.
Some other change or something?
Excuse us just a minute. I just would rather hear the Cigna plan and then us decide what we want.
You can. Are there any other, do y'all want to make any other changes, or you want to continue the way we are? You want to hear it, is my question.
Good.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the Cigna plan, this is matching your plan, and Cigna actually made some enhancements that aren't reflected here. But Cigna came in at a 6.7% increase from current, matching, the basic plan design elements. And the employer cost per month is at $164,886. So this minimizes the employer cost impact down to $10,000 increase. Would you like to look at the detailed Word documents that we sent today, Kelly?
That's up to Justice Nelson, but to be specific, are you talking about the Word document that is the differences between QualChoice and Cigna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's up to you if you
Is
want.
this only $2,000 difference, 166 to 164? So that would be $24,000 annually.
Yes,
that
that's
way-
the difference,
And
yes.
that way we wouldn't have to make any changes in anything, employees' cards and things.
Right, we wouldn't, but their plans will change.
So wouldn't they still have to get new cards then?
I don't know, if we stayed with QualChoice as option 2, do employees have to get new cards and all of that?
Yes, there would be new ID cards.
Because they're gonna have different deductibles on it.
Yeah, because they say.
The Cigna plan, how does it compare to what exactly we got right now? The
So
qual,
at a basic level, they have matched all your copays, they have matched your deductibles, your out-of-pockets. But just the way Cigna functions as a carrier, there are some more intricate detail changes that are actually in your favor. So a few basic ones, they added infertility treatments. So that would now be available. Another big benefit that they added is a $10,000 health improvement fund. So they would provide the county with $10,000 this year to utilize as you see fit. You could use it for a wellness program. You could use it to host a lunch to discuss healthy lifestyles. You can use it for a number of things, and Cigna would help you plan a strategy to outreach to your employees. But that fund is essentially giving the county $10,000 to utilize, with some parameters as you see fit. Does
Claire,
everyone
I
have
think that they handed that out, I believe, Claire, so we may want to
Okay.
go over that.
Let me pull that up for our team.
One simple question real quick. What would y'all do?
Well, if it was our plan at Stevens, I would change to Cigna.
How, I mean, it seems like we have changed plans almost every year to avoid these high increases. I just worry about the inconvenience for employees. I mean, but if y'all feel like Cigna's a better plan and it's gonna save the county money, then it's like a no-brainer almost to me.
It's exactly what we've got.
Right, and we understand, and we really try not to change carriers, but in this environment, understanding the finances and the offer that Cigna's made, and we've had experience with Cigna, and they've done a good job with some of our other clients. The network is very similar to what you have now. And as Claire said, the major benefits, co-pays, deductibles are the same. And there are a few enhancements within the plan. So
If we don't switch to Cigna, we're gonna be passing more expenses on to the county employees, correct?
yes, you'll be passing on not only a higher premium or to the county, but if you change to the second option, the employees would have more out-of-pocket expenses.
Anybody else? Okay, Kelly, keep going.
Well, it's kind of up to the committee now, I think, if there's any, we have a few more handouts. They did provide us with, some information on our claims. If anybody wants to see that, at the time that they provided, we were at a 97% loss ratio. Again, we do still have several high claimants, as we do every year. It's one of those uncontrollable things. And then the other thing that you sent today was the benefit summary for Cigna, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Cigna generated what your benefit summary would look like.
Right. So that is here if anyone wants to see that also.
Okay, we need two more down this way. One for
And we realized the Word document we prepared that's titled Differences Between QualChoice and Cigna. It's probably more detailed than you'd like us to read line by line, but we did want you all to have those differences, and we tried to outline them in a clear way. There are some definite enhancements to moving to Cigna just because of how they structure their general plans. One of the big ones that popped out to our team is in the therapies for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, and chiropractic care. This would be a pretty major enhancement. Currently, your members are allowed 30 combined visits for those services. Under Cigna, they would be allotted 20 physical therapy visits per year, 20 speech and occupational therapy visits per year, and 20 chiropractic visits per year. So that's a major enhancement in itself.
Is there a limit with QualChoice?
It's 30 combined. So it's significantly less.
Yeah.
Combined.
what about the hearing aid?
It offers it covers $1,400 per device per ear for 3 years, every year.
There you go, Mr. Nelson.
Yeah, Betty. What'd you say?
The hearing
talking about
aid
the
lasts
hearing aid.
1,400.
Yeah.
Per ear.
Yeah.
She's
I
saying,
know. I just wanna harass him.
I was thinking of
So he gets more.
someone that, in our office that had several, well, she's been
Even like the ambulance.
We got county employees here. I mean, I'd like to hear what they have to say, because they're the ones gonna be switching if we switch.
yeah, me too.
That's true.
We've had Cigna insurance before, haven't we?
Yeah, that's one.
We had it last year.
we switched almost every year or two, just
Cigna was pretty good.
primarily to save the county money. And,
Yeah.
So the plan you were on last year actually leased the Cigna network. It was not Cigna, as we're proposing this year. So,
Oh,
but the good thing is you are familiar with the Cigna network since you were using that network last year, but you were not with Cigna as far as the health plan is concerned, if that makes sense.
let me tell you how I personally feel, and then all of you can speak. Personally, I think that we ought to stay with QualChoice. The $24,000 that we're saving is not a lot of money according to what we're budgeting for finance. I know there's some differences, but there's also some benefits to QualChoice. We've never had Cigna. I don't know what they do, what they provide, how they're gonna treat us. We've never had them. There is no history to Cigna's taking care of us. Personally, I think QualChoice is what we ought to stay with. Justice Howard did go ahead and jump in.
Well, we got experts on the screen telling us something different.
Let me say about that, you keep making some comments. Let me say about the experts. They are in it just like everybody else to make a dollar. And they will take probably, and I'm not saying these people, I don't know like some of them do, but they're in it to make money.
I think they're also in it to save the county money.
Well, you can think what you want, but I'm here to try to save or get the best insurance for the county employees. And that's what I'm going to do until I sink, is get the best insurance for the county employees. Chairman of Finance.
Justice Norvell voiced a concern a minute ago about the inconvenience or the potential inconveniences to the employees of changing from one company to another. I wondered if that was a significant inconvenience from county employees' standpoint. Is it hard? Is it tough on them? Is it inconvenient for those of you using the insurance?
Do you want me to answer?
Yes, answer. You're a county employee. You use this insurance, don't you?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't use ours?
No. Well, I have in the past. I chose not to take QualChoice this year.
Why? Because your husband offered better, or because you didn't like the
Well,
coverage that we were offering?
That's not a fair question, Mike.
Is it unfair?
You ask her a personal question.
Well, if she doesn't like QualChoice as a county employee, I'd like to know if there's a problem with QualChoice that you don't like.
There was two reasons, and you asked both, and yes to both. I didn't like QualChoice the last time that I had it, which has been several years. But then the other thing was I did have the advantage of my husband had a better option. So that's what I chose to do. The other thing was it was difficult when I was on both, having two different insurances. It seemed like there was always an issue filing to both sets. So I tried it this year to see how it worked. I don't know what I'll do next year, but that was why I did it last year. As far as the inconvenience, it is always an inconvenience when you have to switch, because you have to check with your providers, and make sure that they're in network, and then that always causes an issue the first few times you use them, it seems like. the other thing is, getting new cards and making sure everybody's got the correct information. That's sometimes a nightmare and a hassle. But we would have to get new cards anyway with QualChoice. So it's just a matter of, whichever one you want to choose, yeah.
Justice Nelson, you said that you liked the QualChoice, but you didn't state which one. The 15% increase, the negotiated renewal at the current level of coverage, or the 8% increase, which is QualChoice option 2 at an 8% increase. If you like QualChoice, do you have a preference that you're leaning towards?
I think that most everybody knows I'm a retired state employee, just like Justice Norville. They have furnished QualChoice for us for years. I have no problem with QualChoice. They've bellied up to the bar and done what they're supposed to do. So I have no problem with them, and I can't complain where others do have complaints, and I understand that. It would just be what the committee wanted to do, whether they wanted the 8 or the 15.
Well,
there's a 6% difference between the 8 and the 15.
yeah, I'm looking at the total annual contribution at the very bottom. The second line under employer cost summary. The annual contribution on the negotiated current level is $2,131,801. The 8% is $131,800. Well, $131,000 less at $2,602,56. And then the Cigna is an additional approximately $22,000 difference between the 8% and the 6.7%. But the Cigna does keep it at that higher level of coverage. So, I'm not on the county insurance either, as a retiree or an older person. But it's significantly different, $150,000 difference between the negotiated current level and the Cigna level, same current level of coverage, and there's about $150,000 difference in total cost.
That's annual money.
Annual, yes, sir.
Justice Hepler, do you have any comment?
Well, from listening to the news and stuff, Cigna is a growing company, and they're expanding every day, and they're covering more every day. Like I said, we hadn't used them. There's a lot of those that we started out first not using though, in the last 20 years, 30.
So which one do you like?
I like Cigna.
I think it's tough to say.
Well,
I agree with you. With QualChoice, you know what you're gonna get. Pretty much, we've had a good record with them. They seem to. I don't know anything about Cigna, but I'm not on the county insurance either, so I don't know anything about QualChoice.
Okay, so let me ask you this. To hold the same level of coverage that we have today. Now, you referred to me as chairman of the finance. Guys, I'm Michael White. As chairman of the finance, I look at numbers, dollars. So holding the same level of coverage, to hold the QualChoice at the same level of coverage, it's going to cost us $153,169 more to stay with QualChoice at the same level. So we could keep the current insurance that employees have and pay another $153,000, or we can drop their coverage, lessen their insurance a little bit, and not have quite such a difference, only have $23,000 difference in total cost. That's the way I have to look at it, just dollars and cents. as compared to levels of coverage?
I've had no problem with QualChoice. Matter of fact, they've been real good insurance to me, both times we've had it. But, to keep the same coverage would have to be the 15%. And that would hurt the employees if we dropped it down to the 8% one.
And you're talking about a year, I mean, like I said earlier, it's an inconvenience to employees to switch. All right, but is that inconvenience worth the employees getting better, the same benefits they're getting now, you know, keeping the same coverage they got now? That would be going to Cigna. And here's a year that the county, I mean, we don't know if we're gonna be able to give county employees raises. So we're fixing to cost them more money if we switch to this lesser plan with QualChoice.
But aren't there sometimes like a buy down, couldn't, if the employee chose to want the $1,000 deductible, couldn't they buy down to that level? Is that an option?
We've been there, haven't we, Mike? We don't wanna go back
It
there.
costs, it costs the employee to do that.
I'm not sure we can do it. I
But they had
mean, you can ask,
before,
I
but
don't
that
think
was
they
with the
know.
one that were having trouble with.
Well, I didn't know if that was an
That was
option
with
all the
the
time. You know, a lot of
people wearing
people
lawsuit
don't
with.
ever, you know, there's a lot of people that don't ever, you know, probably meet their deductible I mean, I'm sure there are some people that do, but then there's a handful, or I don't know how many at the, you know, county level, but there's some people that don't. So 1,000 or 1,500 is not gonna make them any difference.
Did y'all, Claire, I'm speaking to you, did y'all ask QualChoice if they would give us the discount equal to what Cigna is offering?
We did. We don't believe that they're going to be able to get very close, but we are still waiting for the official word.
Tom, do you remember about 3 or 4 years ago when we negotiated with Blue Cross and they met what we asked? Do you remember that?
Better track record for
Oh, yeah.
5 years, is that right?
You think that's possible?
To get better pricing. It's like a gamble.
Yeah.
You never know what claims.
We have shared the Cigna information with QualChoice, and they have indicated that they'll continue to look at it. They're not going to be able to get down to QualChoice's level. I mean, Cigna's level, sorry.
Could you repeat that again, Tom? I didn't hear you.
We shared the Cigna quote with QualChoice, and they are continuing to look at it, but they've indicated that they will not get down to the Cigna level. In fact, they don't feel that they will get below a double-digit increase.
And they're saying we're not gonna have to do that.
So they may come off of 15, of 1 or 2, but it's not going to get down where I would compare it to the Cigna offer.
They may come off the 15% a little bit, but you're not anticipating them coming down like to 8% or 7%? Okay.
No, sir.
How long before we know that answer?
We were supposed to know by the appointment, but that hasn't happened yet. So we will send you all word as soon as we hear.
We probably know it today. They're probably not gonna do it.
Well, it may be worth waiting to see what they come back with.
How long can we wait, Justice Wayne?
We're trying to have the budget ready to vote on in 4 weeks.
Oh, we'll know something by the end of the week, the latest, possibly today.
Well, so we know we have it narrowed down to 2, either QualChoice. Well, actually, we have it narrowed down to 3, don't we? QualChoice 1, QualChoice 2, and Cigna.
Chairman? If we decided to go, the county decided to go to Cigna, we would be dealing directly with Cigna, and that would not be brokered out to other sub-agencies. Is that correct?
Stevens would be the broker of records, so you would deal through us. We would be your representative with Cigna.
But it would still be Cigna that if we had issues and problems, that's the corporation, the company that we'd be looking to for reparations?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about like Gerber.
Yes.
What's that called?
Well, that was our secondary,
Secondary is what he was talking about.
secondary coverage,
And you know,
secondary stop loss.
and I mean, the
Yeah,
part-
this is true, fully insured Cigna.
Okay, that's my question.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I say something?
you sure can.
I just slipped out and called my doctor's office and asked the insurance lady which one they preferred over the other. She said, our QualChoice pays terrible, very slow to pay. The Cigna we had last year was even worse. And I told her I thought this Cigna would be a standalone Cigna.
Correct. Yes, please.
She just said that QualChoice paid so slow.
This is a true, fully insured proposal from
They accept,
Cigna.
they accept, so you would have to
So
change.
you really can't compare it to that thing you had last year. This is totally different.
Well, she was talking about how slow even QualChoice is to pay.
That's what I couldn't believe, that Justice Nelson said he's never had a problem with QualChoice. I've had problems with every insurance I've ever had.
Well, I just kind of wanted to get some
Sorry about that.
perspective from.
That's just the nature of the beast.
doctor's office, yeah.
They're gonna be slow to pay because their money stays in the bank longer.
Right.
What insurance company was it when you guys employees were getting invoices? You guys were discussing,
We
I
were-
remember, still, right?
It was Cigna, but then we had Gerber as a secretary. Gerber's the one that we're still fighting with to try to get claims paid.
Gotcha.
Cigna paid so much, then Gerber will come as a secretary, and then Gerber reneged basically, and so we just trying to get it done right.
But this is a different Cigna.
Yes.
Okay, we have 3 members here, Justice Norvell, Justice Jackson. Would either of y'all like to make a motion, or do y'all want to wait until she has an opportunity to hear from QualChoice?
Here's what I will make a motion. I'll make a motion that we switch to Cigna to keep the county employees the same coverage and save the county money. And if they contact us within a few days, say, hey, QualChoice says they'll come down to and meet Cigna's offer, then I would say we meet again and reconsider.
Is that something you can live with?
I can live with that.
But I mean, I still want to, let me hold my motion.
I want a motion first. I want to do this right. I want a motion, or we don't have anything to talk about.
I wish sometimes you could be pleasant.
So you either got to second it, Molly, or we got to move on.
Oh, am I the only one left?
Yeah, you're it.
Sorry.
You either second or it dies.
Or it dies. Okay, I thought Betty was on here too.
No.
Yes, I will second the motion.
Okay.
Yes.
There goes Justice Norvell.
All I want to say, I just still want to hear from county employees. We never do get to hear from y'all. What do y'all want to do? I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, I'll start with you, Kelly. What do you think?
She don't like them.
I'm always looking at it from an employee side plus the financial side, because that's what keeps me up at night. So, I mean, I'm always about giving the employee the best plan, the lowest out of pocket, especially when we're faced with maybe no raises, plus the cheapest for the county, which in that case would be the Cigna option. I have heard in my office, I hear the pros and cons of every insurance that we have, and like they've all said, there are bad things about all of them. So I can't say one way or the other, QualChoice would be better or Cigna would be better. So I just strictly look at it as the financial part, the bottom dollar, and the what's going to be best for the employee as far as out of pockets and co-pays. That's what, like Molly said, most of them aren't going to meet those deductibles. but they are gonna go to the doctor, and now instead
Yes.
of paying 20, they're gonna pay more. And, the ER benefit is going up, from QualChoice, you know, with the QualChoice. I mean, those are just the things that I think about, and that's my opinion on it, but.
Peggy, Susan, you have anything to add?
I wouldn't be in favor of the QualChoice, you know, the
Option
number,
two.
option 2. I'm not in favor of that. I'm not really having problems with QualChoice, but,
Don't lower their coverage is what she's saying.
Yeah, I
Don't
agree.
lower their
That's-
level of coverage is what she's asking.
I wish Janice Curry was here. She's one that's had a lot of problems with QualChoice.
The only thing we're going to do, Justice Howard, if we move to Cigna, is we're moving the load from us, from the county employees, from us to the county employees.
You've lost me because I have no clue what you're referencing to.
Okay.
We're saving the county employees money.
We're saving the county money, but what are we doing to the employees?
Well, hopefully we're saving them money because
It'll be the same thing.
they're going to have the same plans they got now. They're not going to be out of pocket as much. Their deductible's not going up. They're getting more coverage with the chiropractors and the speech and different things like that.
That's not what she said.
That is what she said. You might want to ask her again. You may not be in the same room.
And the lab work, any lab work that's done in the doctor's office, whether it's preventive or diagnostic, is gonna be covered at 100% under Cigna, so that's another consideration
Is it gonna cost the employee more
for which?
if Cigna goes to the doctor for whatever?
No, the co-pays would be the same as you have right now.
Suits me.
And the therapy and the speech and the,
That's what this
Chiropractor.
is, like, these are
There's
the
an
enhancements,
increase.
there's enhancements with Cigna that we're not getting now, plus the co-pays and out-of-pockets stay the same.
Then why are we doing all this?
We've made the motion now. I think we can go for the vote.
Okay.
Why are we going back and forth?
I don't know, I think maybe everybody wasn't on the same page, maybe. I don't know. Well, I think there was the question of having to switch companies and that inconvenience, you know, that was the concern at the beginning. But it may be worth it if they do get to keep the same benefits plus these added enhancements is kind of where we're at now, I guess.
I don't have a vote, but I can support the motion on the floor.
Everybody done? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
Claire, I'll call you later with instructions on what we need to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I got
Thank
that.
you.